This is Pete for TZW, and today I want to show you Drums of the Deep Unleashed by Auddict. If you don't know what Auddict is an aspiring company for libraries for Kontakt, and they did great stuff like the Master Solo Woodwinds, which is a great library, and the United Strings of Europe, great strings there, and some other stuff like the Octohorn from the Master Brass collection and stuff. Yeah, and I want to show you what the Drums of the Deep Unleashed pack can do, and I'm experiencing it so far. I haven't seen that much so far, so it's kind of an experiencing video and a review. I'm gonna say later what I think about that. So let's start. First off, there are 12 instruments there that you can load up to your Kontakt VST, and you can use them all like this there, like I used them there. They are easy to use, like every Kontakt instrument. They are not NKS ready, so they don't come in the library window on the side of the Kontakt window, so you will find them here, and you need to open the quick load bar here, which you can do by right click on your mouse on an empty point on your Kontakt window. So we're going to start with the Boobams 4M. Boobams are pretty high drums, and I'm going to show you how they sound. Have a little loop created here, a little drum loop, and yeah, I'm going to play it now. Yeah, cool. What you can see and hear is that those drums are pretty velocity sensitive. This is pretty important for drums because you want to make them sound realistic, and you will pretty much do that by using the velocity of your workstation. Each drum instrument comes with a low cut filter and a high cut filter, but there is no equalizer in your instrument, so you need to equalize this instrument by an own equalizer you put into a channel of your DAW. So it cannot be done within Kontakt, except you use the mixer of Kontakt. Yeah, they have the reverb of the drum sample, so to give them more room. So this is just an algorithmic reverb, I guess, that has been done later, or that is just added to the sample within this effect around here. You can pitch them down. This pretty much uses the pitch function of the Kontakt instrument. It's pretty much the same here, what you do around here. Actually, you can always do that with every Kontakt instrument you have out there. Nice thing is that you can adjust the attack, the decay, and the sustain and the release of your instrument. This can give it a more realistic tune. Pretty good. Actually, you have around 5 different microphone positions, as you can see. So I'm gonna play around with the ADSR functions here. And I'm gonna load a new instrument, the 8 drum army, and they are played here, and the next note is the C3. So they're pretty loud so far, and they have just 2 close microphones. A great function is that you can purge those samples, and this is an okayish function on drum microphones, because since the samples of this library are not that big, actually you do not need to save that much RAM, in my opinion. So, funny thing around here, I think I need to reinstall that, or maybe this is a problem of the instrument of the 8 drum army so far, is that you put both microphones down, that they are still pretty loud and pretty good to hear. And they have and the release of the samples has a very noticeable noise sound at the end of the release sample, as you can hear here. As you can hear. This sounds really noisy. There is something there that annoys me already of this drum sample. Maybe it's in the decay. It's the sample. It cannot be adjusted or changed by using the ADSR functions. Okay, so what's still interesting is that these 2 microphones are these 2 microphone faders are all faded down, and you still can hear the sound of the instrument and of the samples. Okay, when they are muted, they are down. That's pretty great. So, but you cannot fade them. Okay, that's interesting. And now the faders do work. Okay, there is a little bug around here, and now the faders do work. Maybe it's a loading bug, and you need to mute those microphones before you fade them. This seems to be a little bug. Not cool. So we're gonna load the field drums. Pretty interesting, in my opinion. And here is a these are doubled, but totally random. This is crazy, because this is not something you can actually work with. Maybe it's a phrase down here, and I don't and I don't use that right. But this is totally random. Okay. Interesting. So we're gonna use the field drums. So this is interesting. Those rims are pretty quiet in my opinion. Those, and they don't get louder if you put up the velocity. So let's head forward to the frame drums. No, those are the footstep drums. I like the room microphone positions here. They are sounding pretty great. But there seems to be a bug. There are some notes that are doubled around here sometimes, and this seems to be pretty random. And this is actually a no-go for a Kontakt instrument, and this is not a great point in my opinion. But we're gonna head forward to the Grand Casas. Okay, as you can see, there are many Grand Casas around there. And I think this is the best thing I've heard so far within this library. Yeah, these are pretty great low and powerful drum and ensembles of big drums. Very nice. So let's make it louder here. Sound pretty great so far. You need to do a few adjustments to make them sound great. Has a bit of the high cut function and a bit reverberation on this, and yeah, you have a really great Grand Casa ensemble with that. And the best about this is that they have added another Grand Casa, which is the same amount of Grand Casa samples around here. So maybe they are the same and just a bit pitched, or just a different mic positions or stuff like that. I don't know, but I'm gonna listen to that now. These seem to be smaller drums because they have a higher sound, so maybe different samples of different grandcasters so far. Let me compare that so that I don't talk bullshit around here. Yep, they seem to be higher. The tone of them is higher than the tone of the grandcasters, of the first grandcaster samples. So let's head forward to the, come on, Kontakt, do your job, to the huge toms. Okay, these do sound pretty great, in my opinion. Okay, the sound here is pretty great. Sounds good to me. There is nothing that I can add. The only problem I see or I've heard around here is that the drum beats, so the notes seem to be offbeat here around there when I played them. Don't know if this is a bug of FL Studio and Kontakt and this library, or if this is something of about Kontakt, but this is DFD, so that maybe actually it cannot be that there is a timing issue between the DAW and the Kontakt instrument. So I don't know if this is just a bug of lacking samples or if my ear is tricking me. Please tell me if my ear is tricking me and I'm just hearing stupid stuff and don't hear it right here. Yeah, but they sound pretty great. There's something there, so they have different tom expressions. There are different styles of playing, so maybe, yep, there are different styles of how they played the drum and different sticks or mallets they have used for some samples here. Different positions and different drums, of course, and those toms, those huge toms as they are called, sound pretty great. Yep, I think they are nice. Rope tension drums. If these are different expressions around here. There are different volumes of these samples around here, I guess. Yeah. Those have been recorded louder, a bit louder. There are different different styles of play around here. Yep. But those different play styles do react to the velocity, so they are also velocity sensitive, which is great. Let's move forward to the swords. That sounds great. Yep. These are... Whoops. They're recorded pretty good, and this is a pretty good quality of the samples here. Not much to say around there. They are good. We have taikos. Taikos are big drums which are used in big dramatic records, or movie scores, like The Dark Knight uses a lot of taikos and grancasses in the Dark Knight theme. So you can sound like this with taikos a lot. Also for fighting scenes, taikos are great. So there is a slight offbeat tone that is given by some samples. So it seems to be an error with reloading some of those samples. So there is an issue with reloading some of those samples and to put them completely in tune, and this is in the rhythm, and this seems to be a problem for me sometimes. So maybe, as I said before, it's an issue of FL Studio and Kontakt, or FL Studio and Kontakt and this library. But I cannot completely guarantee this. Maybe there is an issue with that. So I'm not quite sure about that. But actually they sound great. So we have taikos in an alternative mixed position. So I think there are alternative microphone positions around here. So there are 3 different microphone positions, I guess. The samples are really high quality, so nothing I can say about that. And then we have timpanis. Timpanis are pretty important, so I'm gonna listen up to those, and they sound great. So this is a melodic and also a rhythmic drum, the timpani. So you can do a melody with the different drum notes around here. And follow this up too. And therefore it's important that there are those half steps between the notes of the samples. For other samples, this is not that important. For those samples of the timpani, it's really important. Wanna know how they sound without reverb? Sounds great, so nothing to say about that. Yeah, so let's break it down. Actually, there are a lot of samples and a lot of drums I loved within this library, but there is also something that keeps that is keeping me away from calling this thing brilliant. So the question about this is, Auddict is selling this Drums of the Deep Unleashed, let me look it up, for the price of £170. So it's much money when you have a library that is not that perfect or brilliant mixed. So I don't know if I would recommend these drums for the price of £170, but at a reduced price, which is now at VST Bus, you can pretty much give this a shot, in my opinion. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Please listen to my songs on SoundCloud and stuff, and yeah. Thanks for watching, as I already said that, and have a nice day. Goodbye.